time for our first celebrity confession of the week. And let me tell you that Brother Matt and Sister Rebecca are ready to pronounce, and also Brother Sean Keaveney making a guest appearance on our collective.
Thank you.
This time last year, Sean was confessing his sins, and he's had such a good year. He's progressed, never mind the audience figures, never mind the success of his 6 music show.
Thank you.
He's now progressed to be part of the Radio 2 collective for the confessions.
I have, yes. Thank you very much indeed for receiving me back into the fellowship.
Are you a figure of moral responsibility?
I feel morally superior.
Right, fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome to our stage here the one and only Greg Proops,
Wow.
who is live here in Edinburgh. He has a show, The Smartest Man in the World. It's on in Edinburgh. Greg, it's very nice to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm real well, Father Simon. How are you?
We're very good. How is your Edinburgh so far?
That's fantastic. We're doing Whose Line Is It Anyway over at the, whatever it's called, the Underbelly.
Yeah.
And it's been great. And we're doing it tonight and tomorrow with Josie, Phil Jupitus, and Clive, the bald guy, and Stephen Frost. And then I got the podcast tomorrow at the Gilded Balloon.
Okay, so
It's great to be back in Scottish land again. I've missed fried food. And well done, you finished the tram. Hooray.
Okay, now the music is playing, and we've invited you, Greg, because I understand there is something that you'd like to ask forgiveness for. So here's our first confession of the week. Greg Proops, take it away.
I've been laboring under this for ages and ages, Father Simon, and I felt that there was no better place to confess this than on Radio 2. Forgive me, Father Simon, for I have sinned. Though I'm seriously doubtful as to your authority in spiritual matters, I'm willing to confess to you as I am on shaky terms with the Almighty. She and I haven't seen eye to eye for a while. I've never confessed other than to a bartender, so if I'm tentative at first, I ask for forgiveness in this area as well. When I was at college, I majored in chasing chicks and avoiding homework, but that is not what I ask forgiveness for. I believe that's normal behavior for a man or man-child of 20 years. I shared a dormitory room with my childhood friend, Forrest. I'm from California. We're named Forrest there. Hardly any Anguses. We had matriculated through school together, although we didn't emulate the older boys, and high school. And we'd acted up in class, and I spent a good deal of time sitting outside considering my behavior for what I felt were hilarious and evocative impressions of my teachers. This, too, is not what I asked forgiveness for. We'd moved from our small white suburb of San Carlos to San Francisco to attend San Francisco State University. And we were living on the 14th floor of Verducci Hall, where we spent most of our time throwing things out our window at the early morning tennis players below us. Yet even these acts I do not wish to atone for. We often came home late, being social and full of high spirits, and on separate missions. I had stolen a stop sign at some point, and while living in San Carlos, and had brought it with us to our dorm room where it lived in the corner. When one of us would get home before the other, we'd slide the stop sign under the other's bed covers, knowing that we always backflopped onto the bed, creating a hilarious situation where you would land on a hidden sheet of metal.
Right.
Thus risking injury while almost certainly inebriated, at the least overly refreshed. This game quickly became predictable, and wishing to up the stakes when I would hear Forrest drunkenly fumbling with his keys, I would take off all my clothes, get in his small wardrobe, and hold the stop sign. He would fling open the closet door to find his best friend and roommate naked, save for the stop sign in front of him. This often led to a minor heart attack on his part, and much hilarity ensued, in the manner of all high-spirited and directionless young idiots. Then came a moment of inspiration. I sense a certain amount of judgment from the room here, by the way. As if no one's ever gotten drunk and naked in someone's closet and stood there with a stop sign. Like, I'm the bad guy in this one? Wow, Scotland. Look in a tiny cracked mirror. Then came a moment of inspiration, as one particular evening I knew for a fact he'd been at a soiree where he was guaranteed to have over-imbibed. We dwelled, as I said, on the 14th floor, and there was a small balcony, not really a balcony. You were forbidden to get on it. It was more of a ledge that ran outside. There was no rail and no wall, just a 2-foot ledge, 14 stories up. He came home as I expected, and then my coup de grace came to fruition. I took off my clothes, clambered out the window into the windy San Francisco night, and stood naked on the ledge holding the stop sign in front of me. Forrest struggled to get the door open, turned on the light. He saw I wasn't there. He opened his closet and proceeded to get his clothes off while not noticing I was perched on the ledge outside, risking the elements. He was some time in making his bedtime ablutions, And finally, in his haze, he lifted his eyes to our window and saw me stark naked on the outside staring at him. He then fell over backwards in a fit of panic, which of course was my desired response. I clambered back into the room and attempted to revive him, but I had literally almost scared him to death. So I asked forgiveness for being a heedless moron who put myself in danger and tried to harm my friend with a stupid and dangerous act that would now be considered the stuff of an MTV reality series. If you can't find room in your heart, then I will accept a tram pass.
Okay, that's Greg Proops for you. Greg Proops confessing live. Let's check in with Brother Sean. First of all, Brother Sean, what do you think?
I have never been so disgusted in all my life.
Personal peril, nakedity as well. I think that nakedity, absolute nakedity and personal peril, I think a wonderful combination. Hijinks at college, I think it's totally necessary for people to act like this at university and college. And I think not only should you be forgiven, but you should actually not be castigated, but carried shoulder high from this venue and to the nearest pub where we get you drunk again, and you can do it all over again, Greg. That is my view. Not only are you forgiven,
awesome
you should be celebrated.
Sister Rebecca, what do you make of it?
Sean, I'm afraid I couldn't agree with you less, actually. The thing about students that I always hated was the stealing of stop signs, and also the japes where you try and hurt your roommates by getting them to break their backs, etc., by falling backwards on the bed. The only redeeming feature is the fact that you risked your life to make your roommate collapse. And so I'm going to forgive you for that only, because it was actually brave. Were you inebriated?
Was I what?
Were you inebriated or sober at the time?
Was I inebriated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were. So maybe not that brave, but I'm still going to forgive because you did risk your life. But I don't approve of the stealing of stop signs and that kind of thing.
Brother Matthew.
Let he who has never come home drunk with a stop sign or an estate agent sign, and put it into the partner's bed. Let it cast the first stone, because we've all done it. We've all been there.
No,
I can't understand here, how big is this wardrobe that you're fitting in it and you're getting a stop sign?
It's a stand-up
massive
wardrobe.
It's massive. When I was at university, it was a cupboard. That was you'd never get anyone in that. So I am going to forgive, because your friend sounds like he's got far too big a wardrobe. So I'm forgiving you because of your friend's fancy big wardrobe.
Because of the size of the wardrobe.
Yes,
that's how you're deciding this.
Totally
thing.
logical. I think you'll find.
Okay, so we have a variety of opinions here, so it's kind of down to you. I mean, we'll get the people's verdict as normal via text and email. Thank you very much indeed. But as far as the Edinburgh crowd are concerned, do you forgive Greg Proops? Yes or no? Yes! Greg, consider yourself forgiven.
Thank you, darlings.